Devouring some Kirby.
This pile I put on the side for show and tell has
Mhm.
not one but two classic Kirby's. So next time we do show and tell, I will show them off.
And that's during our making of Turbo Pit Fighter comic, which is why
Yeah.
we're doing these breakout episodes because Kamandi, Last Boy on Earth by Jack Kirby is one of our favorite comics. Not only because it's a post-apocalyptic romance comic, which we're making, called Turbo Pit Fighter. Jake, how the hell are you doing? And are you as excited as I am?
Yeah, I cannot wait to get into this climactic fight between,
Here we
or
are.
it's a race slash fight between Kamandi and Bull Bantam that we were promised in the last episode. Um,
And
but
we've been talking and mentioning that this is like a complete story. So this is like episode 5 within, that they've been in Sacker's department store when Kamandi gets picked up by the leopard pirates, and then he's been, moving along, and he's in this pit fighting situation. Spirit is with him, which is Flower's twin sister, and she's a trophy girl. He's got Click Clack, and then, you know, unbeknownst one from our story seems to have a lot of Bull Bantam in him. So I'm really
right, so
excited to jump into 14 here.
and the similarity that this has to our story, coincidental or not, because I was probably what, 8 when this
8,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
um was is that if Kamandi loses the fight, then Spirit is going to get raped and abused by Bull
Hmm.
Bantam, and that's, this is just of course implied in DC Comics, which
Hmm.
are approved by the Comics Code Authority. But
Mm.
he said explicitly, Bull Bantam will beat you. So that's bad. And he also
The
said,
Spirit. Yep.
Bull Bantam wants you. So
Hmm.
that was all I needed to hear. Um, and the other thing is that these are competitions for survival, and they're also sponsored, right? So when Kamandi came into this, he was discovered by these leopards on the sea, and then he was brought into this human trafficking operation, which is the products in the department store. Like the department store is just a bunch of old relics, and then the actual products are the human slaves and the animal slaves, and it run by this snake called Mr. Sacker,
Literal
and
snake with eyebrows and a receding
right,
hairline.
and how funny is it that the in real life that one of the worst families ended up being called the Sacklers, right? That's what the dope sick, the award-winning dope sick series with Michael Keaton is about opioids.
Hmm.
So, before we jump into page one, which is beautiful, and we do have a double page splash coming up.
Can't wait to get to it.
Um, Before we get to that, we have to reiterate that Kamandi, because I don't know how much Kamandi is a romance. We know that he'd like to have Spirit, and that he had fondness for Flower, and that Spirit is threatened here. But Spirit was trying to convince Kamandi to just stay in
Yep.
this world and just
Yep.
chill with her,
Yep.
and that it's okay, they get food and it's safe, right? And Kamandi wants no part of that. He's got to be free. And even though it means, he can't get together with Spirit. So Kamandi, at least so far, wasn't feeling it. It seems like he was saying things like he would come back for her or whatever, but Kamandi has that bug that our trophy girl has. Like, she just wants to be free on her own, wants to get away from all this. And where he will go, we don't really know. That's never specified. But the feeling came across when I was a kid, that he's in this harsh world and he wants to be, on his own. So let's jump in. We're back to our blurbs up top. Where
Are you on the spread?
Kamandi. No, I'm on the first page.
First page?
Yeah, it says Kamandi, the last boy on Earth, Bull
Yeah.
Bantam, only Bull Bantam and Kamandi left in last event. Now me show you how I win. Coward, I've lost my mount. I'm at your mercy. So Bull Bantam is whipping Kamandi and roping him and
Rope
hog
him, yeah.
tying him.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. We see that he's on this buffalo ride, and the
Look how
blurb
well
above.
crafted, structured rise this just the buffalo is. Amazing.
Yeah, this is beautiful. He's got the stands. He sets the setting. He doesn't draw for hours and hours. He just kind of draws like the little lines that indicate the spectators, and then they throw in some Kirby dots up there, and very muted colors. And then those clouds that just kind of tie the page together. It's great. There's some rubble flying around. Um, and the blurb above says, you know, men are wild, hunted animals. Animals now rule the roost. They read, write, and squabble over the ruins of man. They even go to the races in Florida, the gladiatorial races of the Sackers Company in the world of Kamandi. I'm not loving these Kamandi letters up there. I wonder if he did those or somebody else did those.
Yeah, that's they look a little mimicking, trying
I
to
mean, the
be.
last boy on earth is the usual style, but the Kamandi looks mailed in.
Yeah, yeah, green.
Well, he put so much into the artwork. Now we're gonna turn the page and
Oh
va boom.
man. Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
what do we see here? We see
Carnage.
a sweeping scene of everything that's been going on. We have Click Clack, who's enfeebled. We have fires burning, and we have all of the other vehicles that all smashed up, and the debris and the wreckage, and the leopards are bringing the survivors, wounded animals. Um, it says there's a sign up there that says Sacker's products are tested on the track. So not only do they have betting going on in the stands and Sacker's taking a piece of the action, but they also selling the contestants. And this little leopard guy on the left says, "Snaptail, you cleanup crews, clear this track." The crowd is saying, "Bull Bantam's winning. He'll drag Kamandi across the finish line dead." And this is an actual real life setting. It's Hialeah Park racetrack. So I
Definitely.
guess, yeah, it survived the
Is it
great disaster.
Daytona?
Um,
No,
no, I
it's
think Hialeah. I'm not sure Hialeah is a
oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Because that was the kind of the name for our last issue.
And notice that Kirby has some Florida foliage and
Yeah,
uh, and a
flamingo.
flamingo that lives as an animal rather than a humanoid, right? We see
Hmm.
that occasionally in the world. It looks like he just took a postcard there, a Florida postcard, and just
Right.
put those elements in. But I love this, man. This is what I live for in these Kamandi. These tanks were all destroyed, and these guys are all armored up, and some of them are wearing old-fashioned armor, and they're riding horses, and then
The
you got the guys with
pirates.
the pirate theme, and they're all wearing their neckerchiefs and their red and blue right uniforms because they're Sacker employees. So love, 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 love.
Ah, it's so
Um,
great.
Now back to the action. We see that Bull Bantam's Buffalo is dragging Kamandi. Haha, mercy not in rules of races. And then they say again, Bull Bantam's winning. It's almost over. Um, he's never lost a sweepstakes yet. What a rider! It's funny they call this a sweepstakes, and Kamandi's getting swept across the road. Kamandi's bound and helpless, dragged across the rugged ground. He'll kill me if this keeps up. Bull Bantam promised this. Bull Bantam promised that you die, Kamandi. But at that moment, the rope is severed by a gunshot from the stands. Bam! Wah! Who did that? the rope, it's cut. Got to free myself. So Kamandi doesn't waste any time, and that bucking bronco looks like it could
Bull.
put his lights out. Yeah,
That
that
bull. Once again, I mean, just these bulls. The drawing of
yeah.
bulls.
So who do you want to make a prediction? Who shot the cord?
Is it his lion buddy?
Sultan?
Yeah.
Okay. We said Sultan was going to come. They said Sultan was going to come back in the mail bag.
Yeah, the time
Uh,
capsule
well,
letters.
we don't know yet,
Oh
but
boy.
pandemonium breaks loose among the race fans. Their shouts become a mass of angry boos. Boo, boo, boo. Somebody interfered. Someone try help you, Commandy, but you no escape. Who cut the rope? Find him. Boo, the race is fixed. Okay, so now you see when it goes south, this is another element of our story, right?
Yes, yes.
I really feel like I absorbed this when I was
Oh,
8 years old.
it's yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things I believe wholeheartedly is whatever happened to you from the age of like 6 to 14 just resides in you. And
Yeah,
so,
or
you and I, I mean, the moment we saw a comic book or were given a comic book, it was over. And it didn't
right.
matter what it was, but some of them we became so emotionally attached to. And it's
Yeah, we were
obvious that this is
sponges.
what is going on with you.
Yes, in the course of child development, kids are a sponge at that age,
Yeah.
and that's why nostalgia is such a big thing. Like, right now they have these Broadway shows that are all Disney productions of frickin' cartoons that came out when, like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, all that, and they're
Mm,
just capturing the youth of these
mm,
kids, and they're
yeah.
charging them, $200 a ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering like who cut this. I don't remember, so I'm seeing this for the first time. Now, mind you, I didn't buy these new off the newsstand when I was
No.
8. I probably got a hold of these when I was, starting to collect comics and buy comics in the discount racks. So I might be 11 or 12 by the time I picked this up, and I might have paid a quarter for it or whatever, but I was a kid back then. I was alive, and I've seen this really uncommon ad that you don't see too often. Imperial Wonder Soft Vinyl Zoo, full low prices at McCrory, McClellan, H.L. Green, Brits, J.J. Newberry, and S. Klein. So there's an ad for all these toys that you could buy in your local five and dime, including a little pool table, a little big wheel knockoff called the Cheetah, a battery operated racetrack, and then safe toy animals such as the chemo polar bear and the kangaroo and turtles, and take him for a walk. Alfie the alligator. They show him a rubber alligator wiggling around. So unbelievable ad. This is a really rare ad. Um, Back to the story. Commandy scrambles to his feet, and he makes for Click Clack to see if his mount is recovering. I know you're badly hurt, but we must keep going. Whoever shot that rope has given us another chance to fight back. And here we see,
Here we come.
watching
Da, da,
intently from the
da.
stands,
Told
the
you.
source of the gunfire ignores the anger of the crowd. His fierce eyes are fixed in concern on Kamandi. And we can only see a part of his face here, but this reminds me of the Japanese sumi ink drawings of the tigers, right? That
Mm-hmm.
that are
Yeah.
from ancient times.
Yeah. And the reveal is
The reveal
ba,
is,
ba,
oh, look who we're gonna meet.
ba, Great Caesar.
Oh, wow. So these are
Great
emissaries of Great
Caesar's
Caesar.
son. Oh, it is. It is Prince Tufton.
Right. It's Prince Tufton
Whoa.
himself in
This
Commandy's
box
words.
reserved for tiger emissaries of Great Caesar. Wow.
Right, and it tells us that he is a teenage offspring of a conquering warrior king, a power to be feared. But Previous events have cast him as Kamandi's friend, a friend who dares to break the rules to save a friend. It's a brave gesture in a world of cruelty. For the race goes on, the loser may die, and winner take all.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I think these letters are spaced out weird, and I think Kirby just had a very rough sketch, and the inker just took over at that point.
Yeah, they could be pasted on too. Cut out, pasted on.
And then we're meeting a very important character here, and we're going interspecies again. Um, right? We're seeing a dog character cohabitate with tigers, and he says, "I had to do it, Dr. Canis. I couldn't watch Kamandi be killed." And he introduces himself as your father's chief scientist. I've also inherited his rebellious son. So here we're seeing, and I love the hustle and bustle of this. They're in the crowds, and it says this box reserved for the tiger emissaries of Great Caesar. This is a truce area. No firearms allowed, big shot. There he is. He fired the shot. So he's got the smoking gun in his hand, and there's a lot going on because now this is a an official contingent, that's supposed to be in this area of truce, and Sultan is a teenager, and Canis is saying that he's rebellious, and so this might have been an impetuous act just committed. We don't know Kamandi's fate at this second, but they're throwing boots and shoes and masks and gloves at him. Arrest him, throw him out. He tried to fix the race. Cut that out, you rabble, or my men and I will. Hold your temper, Tufton. Don't make things worse. Sacker's company security guards, put down that pistol. Heed them, Tufton. No leopards give orders to the son of great Caesar. I'll take that weapon, your highness. You know it's the rule of the Sackers Company. Be reasonable, Tufton. As guests and customers of the Sackers Company, we're bound to obey their regulations. I'm seeing Dr. Canis is drawing in here. It looks like he's trying to like really nail down what he looks like from different angles.
Hmm.
Right, you see him at first, it's a straight away, then there's like a three-quarter, now there's a side view, and so these are the first images we see of Dr. Canis. Nuts, I want to see old man Sacker. I want to tell him what I think of his smelly sweepstakes. Tufton and Dr. Canis march off in the company of the security guards. Boo, goodbye, sore loser. Take Princey back to Papa, boys. Ha ha ha. Shut up, you. Right?
So
So, yeah,
great.
the bloodthirsty crowd. Um, Story page 8. At that moment, a deafening roar echoes in the stands. The crowd turns its attention to the track. What's happening? You're missing the action. Bull Bantam's going in for the kill. Now that looks like a bear. You see a
Yeah,
gorilla, a bear, a fox, and is that like a goat or something?
maybe. Yeah, I'd go
Okay.
goat.
Bantam's buffalo is rushing Kamandi. Look at him pound that turf. Attaboy, Bull. I bet a bundle on you. He'll hit Kamandi on that big insect like a ton of boulders. Bull Bantam's giant buffalo crashes headlong into Kamandi's mount with terrifying impact. Boom! I love this. It looks like the bull is going head on, and the insect tries to take it from the side because he's got the powerful legs,
Yeah.
right? And Commandy's trying to put his force into it. The racetrack explodes with sounds. Finish him! Finish him! Click, 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 click. I do that now. Click, clack. You must get up, or we haven't a chance. He's coming back. This time he'll. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Um, So now I'm seeing an ad for Action Comics #1 reprint, first edition, limited collection. Um, Click clack. The giant insect is severely injured, although weak and battered. He manages to rise. So now he's up on two legs. Move, click clack. Astride his fierce buffalo, Bull Bentham reaches into a saddle pocket and draws a grenade.
Damn.
You die hard now, Kamandi. As the grenade strikes, the great insect leaps out of range. So evasive maneuvers. And here we see this big like spread, like this wide spread of the legs of the insect. It seems more like a praying mantis at that point, right?
Yeah, and frog.
Right, right. Then Click Clack falters and crashes to the ground. Bump. Relentless and eager, Bull Bantam charges forward. I've got to stop him somehow. Click, click, click. So this is like the height of tension here. As
Page
as
turner.
we That's a page turner. Uh Wait, what's this? Oh, okay. Sorry, I get so distracted by these ads. Just like I used to. I mean, I used to just pour over the ads, right? Every inch of them. I don't know. I was just a sucker for it. Acting on the raw will to survive, Kamandi resorts to a last desperate act. Here I am, come and get me. Bull Bantam ride you down, crush Kamandi like a bug. Then, ugh! Kamandi takes the impact and grabs the horns of the bull. He's riding the bull, riding the horns. Bantam's shooting at him. Got to hold on, mustn't let go. So he kind of blinds the buffalo and he's sending him careening. The buffalo is maddened by the gnat which clings to his horns and blocks his vision. He rushes, he stumbles, he falls. Womp! Kamandi goes flying. I'm coming, bull. Not even bullets will stop me now. Arg, I'll get you yet, mongrel. Pow, pow, pow. He's discharging his gun. Night, that's a great panel right there. Now we're coming into the 9 panel action sequence, right? So this is going to be blow by blow as Kamandi and Bull Bantam totally have it out. It's my turn at bat. He grabs the gun. Drop that. Fool, Bull stronger, better fighter. Zock. Kamandi takes one on the chin. Me stomp you in deep into ground. We'll see about that. With a mighty heave, Kamandi hurls Bull off his feet. Ah! No, you don't. You'll never use that gun. I'll take the wind out of your sails. Crack. It looks like a double-fisted blow and forces his head down into the ground. And maybe a little starch out of your upper lip. Splat. So remember, Kamandi had already beaten him up once, and Bull Bent, they had already fought once over Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Um, Continued on the next page. Oh my God! So now I'm looking at a double page spread right in the middle of the comic for country and western classics from EC Tape Service, Brooksfield, Wisconsin, and they have so many titles and artists that you can't even see it. I think they're selling cassette. Oh, you can buy a record for $70. You can buy the cassettes for $90. The reel to reels are $120, or the 8 track is $90.
Hmm,
And you get all of these titles and artists, and they're so small you can't even read them.
damn.
Hank Snow, Billy Walker, Skeeter Davis. So that's a lot of money, man. I don't know how many of those things they were selling in Kamandi comics. A kid tries to scrape together 20 cents to get a comic, and you expect them to spend $70 for a 16 song. Oh, it's the top 16 country western songs for the past 17 years, 1951 through 1971. I don't know how many records that was. Oh my God, I'm so distracted. But I'm seeing some ads here that you don't see in Marvel Comics and mostly in DC Comics. You would see the same ads over and over and over, and I don't recognize these ads. So, um, just telling you what you're missing because that's the double page spread. That could have been, planned out to be a Kirby, another Kirby 2 page, um, just para. What do they call it? Para. Oh man, I just had a brain fart. Panorama, right.
Mm, mhm.
Back to the action, story page 12. I've been aching to pay you off. Wham, bam. So Kamani is just pummeling him. His eyes are getting swollen. He's on the losing end. Stupid, arrogant, pampered, brutal little tyrant. Whack, bam, pock. Killer of men and beater of women. You've got more than this coming to you. It, but it isn't all your fault. The Sackers Company made you what you are. And so now we find, so as if like Kamandi was on his own little world, the last sequence didn't have any backgrounds. It just had the action and the sound effect. Now we have a an establishing shot of, the crowd, the racetrack. There was a hush among the stands when Bull Bantam falls. We can see the buffalo just racing off. It's an upset. The long shot wins. Yahoo! Yow! Commandy's come in at 20 to 1 odds. What a finish! Aroused by the seemingly insensitive attitude towards his kind, Commandy shouts in outrage at the crowd. Animals, beasts! Someday man will be on top again. Then we'll see how loudly you cheer. And here we're getting some interesting, you know, um, illustration here as of the faces up front. And they're not inked with the heavy ink pen. They're inked maybe with a thinner um, pen or
Yeah,
marker,
liner.
or
Yeah.
yeah, or like a thin liner, right?
Hmm.
And then they kind of like fade into the distance and then just turn into graphic, symbols again. What's the use? To them, I am the animal. Click clack, you poor creature, you've taken some mean punishment. Click clack. Suddenly, good work, Commandy. The Sackers Company is proud of you. What do I win? A box of dog biscuits? Your friend Click clack looks like he's had it. Well, don't just stand and gape. He needs medical attention. No veterinary can help him. We've seen this happen before. That thing is dying, Commandy. There's only one thing to do. What? It's best to finish him off quickly. One well-placed shot will do the job. No, no, wait.
Whoa.
You can't do this. I won't. I won't let you. I'll. You know what he took in that race. It's a wonder that he got this far. Step aside, Commandy. Click Clack's trying to get up. There, you see? He can't make it. He's done for. Click, click, click. He's in terrible pain. He's suffering, and I can't help him. Yes, you can. I'll give you my rifle. He's got a
Whoa.
small, soft spot between his eyes. Aim for that. It'll take all the guts I have to do this, but it's the only thing left to
Wow.
do.
Wow.
Goodbye, Click Clack. I'll try to make this as quick and painless as I can. Hold that rifle steady. Aim, fire. Look at Commandy's eyes in that panel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing, right?
Wow.
And then, and
What a
when we see a shot
page.
fired,
What a
but
page.
I know, but does Commandy have the guts to go through with it, or did he fire at something else? Let's turn the page and see, because I have an ad here. So
Oh
now I'm
no,
going.
I'm
I
already
have a
there, but
I have an ad on a lefty and a righty page. I have an
wow.
ad here for never finished high school, and then I have an ad for karate, judo, jujitsu. You'll get the fine looking girls if you master
Hell
these
yeah.
martial arts.
Hell yeah.
So so now I'm facing the right, and there is a parade float. Sackers salutes its prize-winning animals. The echo of Commandy's shot. Oh, he did it.
Yeah.
Fades in the tragic air with its passing. A strange but noble heart stops in mid-beat. Click-clack suffers no more. Here in this distant land, he's found peace only in death. Commandy's world is treacherous. The next mile may turn out to be the last mile. So we see the marching band. We see the parade of fine chicks on the float, right? Being and the I guess the letters are spelled out in wreaths of flowers.
Yeah.
There's bubbles being released. I mean, it's like of all the fanfare going on. Um, Cheer up, Commander. You're a lucky animal. You have a reward coming. Shut up, shut up. He doesn't want to hear it. And look at the blood, right? It's
Yeah.
so interesting the way that
It
Kirby
plays like a
makes.
shadow.
Right. Well, it's like a shadow of the leopard, and it's
Yeah,
going
but
into the blood.
yeah. Wow.
Um, Now, I also want to say I have to be critical here a little bit. I
Okay.
do not like the green in the display, and I'm wondering if the
Ooh.
colors were just handed off. Now, I saw some harsh green in the double page spread, at the beginning. And I wondered if that green was out of place too. It just looks like you need to pick up some other colors from some other part of the double page splash, and they didn't do that.
Mm,
Um, also my colors are a lot more faded than yours. Your
yeah.
Your greens are darker and deeper because mine are, decades old and just sitting there on, newsprint
Newsprint.
getting tan. But I noticed a couple of spaces, a couple of other places where, you know, I mean, I think it's good on a page when you have balance of colors and not too many like out of place colors. And I think the dark green, like even in Prince Tufton on page 6, he's green, but his guards are blue, and the colors kind of clash. And I'm wondering if the coloring artist here was, I mean, they're not credited. So
Intern.
I don't know if it's Jack Kirby doing this, if it's Roz doing this, if it's Mike Royer doing all this, or if it's
That's
just
a
the
great question. If anybody knows the answer, please share it with us in the
uncredited
comments.
bullpen. Yeah, uncredited bullpen color. And so, it's mostly good, but I see these dark greens just really stick out to me, and I had to say something. Otherwise, they're good. The racetrack is, our muted colors, the pale yellow of the floor makes you think of like a sandy dirt floor.
Mhm.
So from page 15, we go to story page 16. Hail to winner. Sacker's proud of you. Winner get prizes. And there's a ramp where the women coming down with flowers. There now. How about that? There now, Kamandi. Aren't you happy now? He's still sulking. Some animals act that way after a hot fight. And these women have clothes and cakes and blankets and pillows and a crown. Winner gets Sacker's crown of champion. You hear that? You're a champion animal. Find new costume for champion. And look at Commandy's just standing there, right? That's so expressive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the women's are just like mincing about, right?
Delicious, yum yum layer cake for winter.
Tee hee. And Commandy won't move. He's trying to figure this out. In Commandy's brain, the pictures he's seen in the microfilm library, which was his school, are projected once more. In the sweepstakes of old, he watched the victory floral wreath being placed on the necks of thoroughbreds. And he says, "This is the same. This is the same." Then, "You win me too, Commandy. I am also prize for winner. Spirit, me glad you beat Bull Bantam. Spirit hate him. Spirit like you. This is not the way, Spirit. We're neither prize animals nor champion animals. We're people. Can't you get that? You can't give us away as prizes." Suddenly, Commandy goes berserk. Uh-oh, he's gone mad. He's done this before, remember?
Yep.
Look out, he's going for you. Shoot if you have to. I can't. Sacker's orders. Crack, then this'll have to do. And he gets the butt of a rifle. He's knocked out in his sleepy time. There he is. You enter at your own risk. He's put in this like little stall inside of an iron gate, an iron like uh, container. Mad animals can turn on you when you least expect it. Well, we'll be careful, guard. Just let us in. Okay, so now Tufton is coming to visit him. Well, well, I trust you've had pleasant dreams, Commandy. Tufton, of course it was you who shot that rope in half when Bull Bantam lassoed me. You were in the crowd. You're still in trouble, Commandy. It took all the influence we had in order to get here. Dr. Canis, this is my lucky day. Wait, how does Commandy know Dr. Canis? We're just learning here that Commandy knows who Dr. Canis is. So
I
it's
think he made a very quick appearance when he was with Tufton the first time.
I don't remember Dr. Canis at all.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, I would have noted it because this is the first time we're seeing any dogs.
Right.
So this implies that Commandy did meet Dr. Canis before when he was interacting with the tigers, but and so they're just letting us know that he knows exactly who he is. True words were never spoken. Tell him, Tufton. Tell me what? Well, it isn't easy. I'm predicting that Tufton bought Kamandi.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. See here, Kamandi, if you want to leave this cell, you've got to simmer down and do exactly as Tufton and I tell you. I don't understand, sir. Forget it now. Just keep quiet and come along with us. But what's all the mystery about? A deal I had to make with Sacker. Now let's go. The cell door is open and Kamandi is let out. This doesn't happen often down here. He's free to leave. Thank you, guard. Inform Mr. Sacker that as soon as we're out of here, our bargain stands. It's a poor bargain that's made in exchange for a mad animal. Save your opinion, guard. Just give the information to Sacker. So I'm mad, am I? Well, someday you'll see how mad I can get. Huh, I'll be waiting for you down here.
Mm.
And finally, our final page, page 20. At that instant, Commandy's friends grip him tightly and hustle him off. Blast you, Commandy. Can't you keep silent? What? Don't talk, just walk, stupid. We'll soon be out of this place. Then you can chatter till your jaws ache. You bet I will. I've got a lot of questions to ask. Meanwhile, watching their departure, sassy, jabbering animal. Too bad that kooky young prince bailed him out. Imagine trading with Sacker for a mad animal, and a condemned one at that. I was just about to toss one of these lethal pellets into his cell. Yeah, he almost walked the last mile. Well, he said we'd see him again someday. Maybe we will. Ha ha. Clank. Gas
Gas chamber.
chamber.
Whoa. Wow.
So, next
They were gonna
month,
gas him?
they were going to gas him. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And was it because he went mad, or was it because he wasn't playing nice with Sacker?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that. It's just Sacker had higher hopes for him, and Commandy wasn't having it. He was just like, you know what? I'm my own man. I'm not an animal, and
Well, here's I'm gonna do a couple of likes and dislikes, or maybe some glow in school we call them glows and grows.
glows
Um,
and grows with
I
Jack Jacobs.
as I said before, I hate the just the writing where they use just a thick lettering pen and they would just write gas chamber.
Mm,
Any sign in any world is not written in that style, and
mm.
it should be, it should be taking the time to draw the freaking signs, please.
But what a great, just let me jump in for a second. Like, that's the last panel, legitimate storytelling last panel. And all it is a straightforward line doodle of a door, generic doorknob and all. Then the expressive wording of clank, exclamation point, and then a yellow with black text, gas chamber.
Right.
That's pretty freaking
Yeah.
heavy duty. I mean,
Right.
okay, you've got to really work us all the way up and allow that to be an acceptable ending. That's a lot of work to get there to just then slap it like
Yeah.
that. But I find it to be impactful.
Yeah. And so this storyline, even though Kamandi, defeated the immediate threat, Bull Bantam, and the guards. We do have a breather here while he's going to be regrouping with Tufton, and Tufton might be in hot water himself. We don't know because we don't know the nature of the deal,
Yes.
and all we get is this one panel that says next month Tufton's deal with Sacker, the Watergate secrets. So so action wise we are at a respite, but story wise we are on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And so this is going to continue. So I don't know if this is continued, this is considered part of a story arc. Part of this is carrying over. Um, but if Sacker, I will have to say next issue, if they go off to some other adventure and they leave Sacker, out there as a loose thread, then it might be something they come back to. But we haven't seen Sacker for 2 issues now, right? He's just a name that everybody's referring to. So if you pick up this comic, this is your first Commandy comic. You don't even know who Sacker is. And funny thing, um, because when we saw the image of Sacker, and he was like this snake with this like cool looking hair and everything. I realized where I believe the influence for him came from,
Mm,
and tell me if you agree,
mm.
because I haven't seen this since I was a kid either. But the Walt Disney Robin Hood, where all the
Oh,
animals are
oh,
where all
oh,
the animals
yes.
are portraying the characters. There
Yeah.
was there was a snake, and and deep in the bowel of my mind, I remember that snake character in that movie. That was a full length, feature length Disney movie, and it was
My favorite.
2D. Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe I
Yep.
should go see that again.
That's
So
my
that was
favorite. That's my favorite Disney animation. I mean, Fantasia is just like a trip, but when you're gonna rank those cartoons, animation features, that's my
really.
number one. Yep, that's
I
my number one.
I haven't seen it in so long,
And
but
it's 101 Dalmatians.
right. Well, it
It's the
was
animation itself. The style of the animation is heavily rotoscoped, but you can bet you wouldn't know it like I didn't know it when I was a kid. I just thought it was just incredible, ability to
right.
draw out of
So
your head.
Kirby did pick up a little bit on Disney's Robin Hood, in that that was a world where all different animals represent
It's great.
human factions and different characters, right? And
Yeah,
antics ensue,
yeah,
right? And it was an
yeah.
interpretation. It was a very interesting interpretation, and they take all of the noble animals, and make them, like I think, well, you remember better than me. So in that story, the bad guy was, you had the sheriff of Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
What was he?
Is a wolf, I think.
Was a wolf. Okay, and then you had the king. Was the king a
Silly.
snake?
He was a mountain lion. Had a
A
lisp.
mountain lion?
Well, you silly guy. You talk like that. And then he had a pet, like an advisor was a snake with a robe on, or clothes,
Right,
or
right,
little hat, I think, or something like that.
right. So
But
all these properties play off each other, for sure. And I'm sure. I don't know what year. Let me ask Siri. What year did Disney's Robin Hood movie come out? And so,
54.
really, what? Oh no, that was
73? No, that can't be right. Really? Oh, maybe it is. Wow, no.
yeah. I know the ones in the
Wow, no. So
I
this is
know I know the
before.
sequence. Yeah, the sequencing of the ones in the 50s was those are the classics: Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Dumbo. Because I have a slideshow about Disney that I do with my students. Um, so yeah, 1973. It was just out. It was
Hmm.
just out, and Kamandi 1 comes out. What was the publication date of Kamandi number 1, Last Boy on Earth?
73. That's crazy.
Yeah, 1972. Bum, bum, bum. So Kirby beats Robin Hood out to the streets with the idea of, lots of different animals. I mean, Kirby, of course, is just playing off Planet of the Apes, but it is in the air, to
Well,
have
just to jump in, you've got to remember that even well, maybe at this point it's dying, but funny animal comics were still a huge part of comics, just as much as
sure.
romance comics were. Um,
Yeah, there
Cowboy
was
westerns, they don't really die out till like I think the late 60s.
no, and
Uh, uh,
there's still the flagship properties of Disney and Warner
and even if
Brothers.
they're yeah, and even if they're cartoony, Donald Duck and the likes, it's still something in the the zeitgeist of
Yeah,
society
well, that's what
where
we're
having
seeing.
animals talk, have
Right,
them
that's
act like us.
yeah, that's what we're seeing. I mean, we saw it in Mao's, but what would be one of the earliest um, published works that uses animals as metaphors for different factions of
Animal
humans?
Farm,
Well, it actually, yeah, it actually goes back.
right?
You can go back to
George
ancient.
Orwell.
George Orwell did it spectacularly,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the his book
in
comes out in the
writing in writing that's the
right.
most crazy part of it, is that you only read that story and you think, what the hell, the pig, and then, oh yeah,
right, and that was really, really a powerful vehicle because then he used it not for like races of people, but like political, well, yeah, like races and political, factions, right? The
Yeah,
separation, right?
it was a society thing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was kind of like, are the pigs the rich or are the pigs like, the Anglo-Saxons, the wasps or, and so it's not really clear. So the politics of Animal Farm really, delineate the differences between the factions. And so that might be the most important, example of using that but you know that in ancient Sumi um, cartoons, some of the first cartoons, if you trace the history of cartooning, it goes back to these
You're talking about
Japanese.
Hokusai's manga. He would do sketchbooks,
Well, this is
and
this is this is actually ancient Japan.
yeah, that's what
There
I'm
are,
talking about. Hokusai.
yeah,
Yeah,
right, and they have
the
the
woodblock
frog,
prints.
yeah, the
Oh
frog
yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
fox.
No, Hokusai is like the originator of comics, because
Right,
manga
and
means every day, and that's what he
yep,
would doodle. He would doodle, and then he would expound upon it in a very fantastic way in order to sell um, prints. So
yep, yep.
hey,
So
I got some news. I'm
okay.
cheating on you right now. I just went over to my eBay. I just got a Barney Steel Armageddon issue #1 for $5.50.
Oh wow,
I just
that's
won
cheap.
the auction.
Right, and what's the shipping on that?
$4, 4.74.
Okay, so $9 all in.
Yeah, yeah. Now
Good. Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab 2 and 3. I found them pretty cheap. I got them for $10 and like $15, I think. So
Yeah.
I'll have
Yeah,
that
we
whole
came across
series.
Armageddon in a cache of
You did.
undergrounds that I
You
picked
did.
up.
Mess me all
Yeah.
up like you did with the Dr. Bang comic that I got to go find now, too.
Right. Yeah, and Rip-Off Press is supposed to be like kind of like adult undergrounds, but this looks like it's just PG-13. So, um you never know what you're going to get with Rip-Off. Um that was a great outfit, and I guess they're not putting anything out now because the principals get old and nobody's left to carry on. They're probably just living off their royalties and everything.
Hmm.
I wonder, do old comic book publishers fade away, or do they ride into the sunset? What happens?
What do you mean?
Well, some of the old publishers, the underground publishers were Last Gasp and Rip Off and Kitchen Sink, and there was a lot
Yeah,
of great stuff that was put out, but that was decades ago. And
yeah,
so, where are they now? Something like Marvel, it just rolls into the next generation, and there's a corporate owner now, and there's a board and everything. But
yeah,
with these other companies, it's like it's really just literally people, right?
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah,
you
let's
got to wonder.
wrap up Kamandi. We don't want to get too far off track because yeah, I'm pretty excited about some of this other stuff with
Yeah.
comics. But
So next issue is going to be Kamandi 15. Can't wait.
yeah, these apes were back to the gorillas, but they look like they're like total savages, like jungle voodoo stuff, man.
Right.
On
And
this cover here.
now we're traveling with Dr. Canis, and so we should be able to get into some interesting scientific stuff because he's the chief
Hmm.
scientist for the Great Caesar's contingent of lions.
Hmm.
So looking forward to that. And
Cool.
I don't know where we stand with Spirit and Commandy. They're not really. The last time when Commandy got the good news that he owns her now, that's when he went mad and he started
Yeah, but
attacking.
she's still got her like feelings for him, hence the romance part of it. And there,
Yeah,
the funny part about it too is that we could change it to post-apocalyptic teenage romance because they're basically supposed to be in like the 15s because Flower is in the 15 and he's and you know
Yeah.
Commandy's towing the line for an erratic teenager,
hmm Yeah, they
So
definitely draw him. They draw him diminutive, and but Kamandi isn't really too sweet on Spirit. So we have
he's
to
a
see how this develops.
boy.
I mean, he
He's a
seems like he wants to protect her, but there's no actual smooching or anything like that.
right,
Well, this is like stunted youth. Maybe maybe that Commander can fight. So that's the only thing he knows how to do. So they don't get too much into sex obviously in DC Comics, but how about romance? There's nothing wrong with two teenagers like holding hands and kissing and stuff, right? So
we're gonna
we're
find
uh
out. I don't think. I
we're gonna
think we're
find
gonna
out.
see. We're gonna see more of Spirit. I think she's gonna pop in because those time capsule letters. Um, do you have yours? Are there any letters in this one? Even
Oh yeah,
pushing.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one page because they loaded up with extra ads.
Mm.
So we have some comments on Commandy number 10. And they say you had bats as the new animals in Commander's world. I was wondering why the bats are so huge. This is the second incident where you had smaller animals become very large, the first being the rats. Lions, tigers, and gorillas are the same size, but I can't understand why you made the rats and bats a lot bigger than they were before the Great Disaster. And the answer by Steve Sherman, who's writing this letters column. There are two reasons, really, Sean. One is that the Great Disaster produced a general mutation among the smaller animals, causing them to increase in size and power in relation to their newly gained intelligence. The second reason is how exciting it would be to read about the adventures of Kamandi fighting off hordes of midget rats. Um, so
Midget
they're
rats.
just
That's great.
inventing a scientific explanation. Um, so Dear Jack, issue 10 was fabulous. There's something about their art that surpasses anyone else. Your writing matches your art like steak and potatoes. Can you tell me if you have any new plans for new comics? And the answer is, what does that make Mike Royer gravy? As a matter of fact, Jack is working on a brand new comic which will be coming your way very soon. If you're a Kamandi fan, and who isn't, this new book will certainly be on your must-read list. More details about it coming next month. I'm not sure which one that would have been because I think Demon was already out. I think we saw ads for Demon already by this time. So the other thing might have been OMAC, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
thinking.
Dear Jack, I think your Commandy comics are great. I like the way you make animals stronger than humans. Why don't you make lizards walk on 2 feet? And how about them 9 feet tall? I'd like to see praying mantises as kings of the trees and some 500-foot tall anthills. You could also use beetles as they would make good monsters with their wings and pincers. In other words, Nathan, we'll take it that you don't feel we've gotten the bugs out of Commandy yet. Hmm? We've had quite a number of letters lately from readers wanting to see some type of reptile community. So we'll tack it up on the board as a future story possibility. Um, Next is Dear Jack, I have 9 straight issues of Commandy. I enjoy them very much. It is just exciting. Okay, nothing there. Um, I'm wondering if there's any way I could get issues 1 through 6. Glad to have you. Unfortunately, we do not stock or sell any back issues.
Yes,
You
once
might,
again.
and then they plug, you might try writing to the Buyer's Guide, Route 1, Box 297, East Moline, Illinois, and inquire about the cost of a subscription as each issue lists a number of people who have comics to sell. That's so weird. And then, yeah, the last letter for this month is it seems you made another biggie. Commanding number 9, I had a near attack. The cover was one of the best, and it gives you a sneak preview. I especially like pages 2 and 3. In the splashdown scene, how did the balloon fit into that small hole? Did it deflate slightly and drop in, or what? I think we pondered that ourselves. The misfit is a unique character. I'm sure that not even the evil factory in Jimmy Olsen could come up with the beasties that we've seen in the past 9 issues of Kamandi. On page 15, Mr. Misfit said, "Tracking site is a dead city." And on the following page, he said that everything human is dead. Does that mean that Renzi, Steve, and Ben, the Misfit, and the Servitex are the only people around, or are there more Cyclohart people at the tracking site? I hope you can make these subjects clearer. Joe Morgan, San Jose, California. And the response, as you've no doubt seen by now, Joe, Renzi, Steve, and Ben are the only Cyclohart people around. About the balloon, if you go back to the issue, you'll see that just before the balloon enters the opening, the cables are cut, allowing the basket to fall. At the same time, the balloon is slightly deflated and gathered up by compactors until it is ready for the next flight. So Steve Sherman is just like making up all these explanations to shoehorn everything back in. And then here, as I turn the pages, so the last printed page, internal, is one of these really packed pages of all these tchotchkes you can buy. X-ray vision glasses. The patches were 75 cents. Horror record, encyclopedia of world records, hypnotism record, hypnotism coin, midget microphone transmitter, spy pen. Wow. So this was the Johnson Smith Company from Mount Clemens, Michigan. And you just send the money in and you put your item number in. Then the inside back cover, which is full color, is Evil Knievel, Daredevil Stunt Cyclist from Ideal Toys. And this was a full color cover ad that graced the back of thousands of Marvel comics for years. There
God
was also
bless.
an ad for a Daisy BB gun on the inside front cover. And the back cover, full color, is Ready Rangers by Aurora, and they're selling a Ready Ranger pack, which comes with a poncho bedroll, communications, power pack, PA horn, periscope, intruder detector, star finder, compass, invisible slate, and a tent and a distance computer and a canteen. So
Damn.
and there's a little comic of these kids camping out overnight and using all of this Ready Ranger mobile field pack. So it's hysterical. I could see some kids in the backyard with their Aurora field pack and all the batteries dying and all the cheap plastic things being useless. The kids fall asleep and they get bit up. Fun times, man.
Hell yeah.
So I see
Well,
that you were going to be talking us out on a little pin-up preview of
yeah, I
Turbo.
couldn't I couldn't hold out any longer. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
break into yeah, I just had to I'm working on a pinup that was originally drawn and inked by you, but I've been begging to have my own hand at it. So, but it's also a little bit of time to say, hey, we're doing all of this because Jake and I are working on our own comic book, a post-apocalyptic teenage No, it's not teenage romance,
Not
but
teen.
there's
Yeah, it
there's
is.
romance.
No, we got teenage. Sure.
Is
We
well, how?
we
Oh yeah, I
we
guess so. I mean, well, I mean,
we
Turbo, she's like 18.
interspersed flashbacks, going back from Turbo. For in issue one, you see a couple of glimpses of Turbo when she's like 10 or 12. An interesting thing that I probably mentioned once is that when her father gets killed, I drew her as just like a 10-year, or maybe like an 8 or 10 year old.
Yeah, definitely.
And then as soon as the father gets killed, right there in the very next panel, when she has the blood on her face, she looks like she's like 14, right? It's as if she ages, in that instant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I did that subconsciously, or, but as a device or whatever. But what happens is when you get to issue two, it's about 2 years later. I think we mentioned that it's 2 years later. And so she's really like 14 now, or maybe 15, when she has the encounter with Embra and she goes to the pharmacy. There is going to be this battle royale happening when the orphanage is blown sky high. And then when she gets to the prison in issue 3, she'll still be in that like 15, 16-year-old range. So, it'll be just, going from there. And then when she goes into the trees, that might be a year. And then when she goes into the tunnels, that might be a year. And so she'll finally go back to the prison and get the mold, so she could very easily be 18, 20, because now we're showing a lot more about her relationship with Polska, how they're really a couple, and then she loses Polska. So so
So
yeah,
yeah,
we
if you want to
definitely
find out more, just
Teen
jump
Roma.
right over to
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Turbo Pit.
I went on a Turbo Pit Fighter
This guy,
tangent.
yeah, we're already.
Building.
This is one of the longest episodes we've done because we're heading over into the hour part of it. We try to keep
Yeah.
these 45 minutes, which our other thing we go on, but Jake and I only do this once a week on Sundays. 11 o'clock we do our episode for the Make It a Turbo, and then we do a breakout episode where right now we're doing Kamandi because it's a post-apocalyptic comic book by Jack Kirby, and it's absolutely influential on what we're doing. So I don't
Yeah.
want to take these good people's time too much more, Jake, but do you have anything else before we close out and say goodbye?
No, but next time, yeah, so next time we're gonna do another Commandy. So if you're looking at those episodes, just go sequentially, and you can drink in all the Commandy love. And if you're tuning over to our other channel, stay tuned for not only the creation of the comics and the graphic novel, but also some awesome show and tell that we have.
Yeah, yeah,
We got
definitely.
some great got some great stuff, great artists. We kind of like pull
Black
out
and white indies. A lot
some
of it black and white
indies.
indies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll have some. You might talk about some Marvels here and there, but definitely we are huge fans of indie comics, and I have some awesome stuff that I have in these boxes and boxes of comics that I hadn't looked at for years.
Mm.
And when I had to sell my collection when I was 14 for $400, and it was like 3,000 comics, and I got ripped off. Um, by the time I started collecting again as an adult, I only really, took good stuff into my vaults here. So we'll be going over, a couple of highlights here and there, and you'll have a little bit of both. So jump in as we talk comics and we create, and this is great if you like to draw along with us. It's awesome to just sit around and chew the fat with somebody.
Nice. So, with that being said, Jake, I will see you next Sunday.
Yes, my man. See you later.